What's up, Vol Nation? Happy Sunday. Hope y'all enjoyed the game this week, because I know I did. Let's go ahead and roll right into the game's reaction to Tennessee's team. Really fast, guys. Let's do it. I'm excited. The SEC has been a 4-win Saturday by 6 by any conference in a single day in the AP poll era. Number 15, Tennessee scored a total of 7 possessions on the first 7 and rolled up 718 yards on total offense, cruising past Chattanooga 69-3. My prediction was a little bit off. My prediction was 59-3. Yeah, that's right. So, not too bad. Over at Neyland Stadium, they had the largest margin win in a season opener since 1936. The Vols are now 4-0 under Coach Hype. Playing in front of a sellout crowd of 101,915, the Vols scored on 10 of their 13 offensive possessions, producing touchdowns on 8 of them. They finished with 414 yards through the air and another 304 on the ground, tying for the second highest total yardage number in program history. Let's talk about Nico. I don't know about you, but I was impressed by Nico. He lived up to the hype. Future's bright for the Vols. He was 22 of 28 for passing. He had 314 yards and 3 touchdowns in only the first half. That was the program record for most yards in a single half by any quarterback or any player. That's insane. Hey, ESPN, if you're listening, Nico Iamaleava for Heisman. Go ahead and call in it. Running back Dylan Sampson and wide receiver Dante Thornton Jr. produced multi-touchdown days for the University of Tennessee. Sampson finished with 124 yards rushing on 12 carries, tallying the scoring totals of 1, 3, and 5. Thornton Jr., meanwhile, hauled in touchdown catches of 36 and 10 yards, while recording 3 grabs for a team high of 105 yards. Now that's it for the Vols. Now let's look at my reactions to the other games. Clemson versus Georgia, the Aflac kickoff game, hosted in Georgia's backyard of Athens. So, what did I think? Well, Georgia looked pretty impressive in their opener. I mean, they beat them about 34-3. That was the score. And I don't think Dabo was too happy with it. And then this was the 40th straight win in the regular season. If you don't count the loss in the SEC championship game against Alabama. And now Miami versus Florida. Miami versus Florida, guys. Miami went to the swamp, showed up, beat Florida in the swamp. The longest opening game win streak snapped at 34. The score was 41-17. After the game in a post-game interview, Billy Napier called the game embarrassing and that they need to do better. Notre Dame and Texas A&M, the game of the night, prime time on ABC. I wish it was on CBS, though. This game was all defense till Notre Dame ground attack was jump started. Their rushing game was jump started by, I don't know, they found a switch because it was mostly defense. It was, I think, 3-3, 6-6 at halftime. So Notre Dame won their first game against an SEC AP ranked opponent since 2004. And the score of that game was 13-23. And the game that probably I didn't expect was ODU, Old Dominion versus South Carolina. They went to Rollins-Bryce, and they had a pretty good game, I think. The score was 19-23. ODU made it a close game toward the end. Turnovers and defense was key. Just whoever didn't make the least mistakes, or whoever made the least mistakes, was going to come out on top. Because within, I think, the 2-minute warning, because they got a 2-minute timeout now, what they're calling it. The ODU quarterback threw a pick. No, that was the Notre Dame game, but South Carolina, they picked it off within a little bit over a minute left. And they just took time off the clock. Now, I know I said this game shocked me because the only reason why it shocked me is because it was so close. I didn't expect South Carolina to make it even a close game with Old Dominion. But Virginia Tech at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. This game went to overtime at 27. Ended up, I didn't watch. I was flipping back from the Tennessee game and this game, and then I watched the final possession. It was 4th and 11. Virginia Tech had the ball. Score is 27-34, which ended up being the final score. Final play of the game for all the marbles. Quarterback drops back, and then there's a little open space right there. I'm like, dude, run the ball. But no, he throws an incomplete pass. But Vanderbilt ultimately wins that game and shocks a lot of people. I mean, I think Virginia Tech, they were favored to win that game. I mean, I was like, there's no way Vanderbilt's going to beat Virginia Tech. I mean, obviously Tennessee plays Vanderbilt every year, but I mean, that's nothing special. I mean, I like the rivalry games, but it's just too easy. Now, for next week's game, will be it won't be at Neyland Stadium or whatever NC State calls their stadium. It'll be in Charlotte where the Panthers play in the Duke's Mayo Classic. And Tennessee is currently favored by 6.5 points. And if you go back and look at the NC State game that they had against West Carolina, they didn't look too hot. They did not look too hot at all. Both teams were playing against an FCS team in week 1. Both were home games, obviously. But I think West Carolina, they gave them a fit. I think they're what my predictions are is I'll go ahead and talk about this, and not just since it's go ahead and call this like a reaction to like all the other games too. But the running game, I think Dylan Sampson will give him a beating on the ground. Nico, I think, will throw a few touchdowns in the air. Sampson, he might have a couple. Cam Seldon might have one. And that's it. I know we sped through that pretty fast, but that's not what I was aiming for. I guess we are going to be like Tennessee's offense during review days, reaction days, whatever you want to call it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content from me, the talk show host of the VolsCast. Anyway, go Vols. See you in the next video, guys.